Hello and thanks for tuning into Slope TV. Today we have a special guest on the program, the head coach of the Cornell men's basketball team, Steve Donahue. Coach, thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
And first, I just want to say congratulations on the two big wins this weekend. Well-deserved, great play all around.
Thanks, I appreciate that. It was a great weekend, well-attended, great atmosphere. Obviously, very happy to get two wins.
And I want to start by going back to something that probably seems like ancient history about this point, the non-conference schedule. And on first glance, a 14-3 record and those 3 losses, nothing to be ashamed about at all. You must be really proud of your guys.
We were. I think when you decide that you're going to have a schedule like that, you're not sure exactly what it's going to look like 6 months prior to playing the games. I thought we did everything we could to put ourselves in a great position to get ready for the Ivies. Thought we played in great environments, tough places to play, very good basketball teams. Overcome some injuries during that time and had a great preseason.
Yeah, that Alabama game, the first game of the year, a lot of hype surrounding that game. The opening game for you guys, the start of the Anthony Grant era at Alabama, Lewis going home, playing in front of family and friends. But you guys being able to pick up that victory must have done so much for your confidence after all the close games against top opponents last year, starting off the season with an SEC victory.
Yeah, I think all those things you touched on were important. I think we've knocked on the door against teams of that level on their home courts before. We haven't broken through. Mostly it's because we usually get a lead and unfortunately teams wear us down. I think the difference in this season, and that was apparent in that game, is that we did get a large lead, and we did. Obviously they're going to come after you. They're a talented basketball team, but we were able to withstand that with, I think, depth, size inside against those type of teams, and I think that's played out throughout the season.
Coach, you always talk about guys stepping up when given the opportunity. Last year was Adam Wire being inserted into the rotation. This year, Alex Tyler went down in the Legends Classic. John Jakes had his number called, really flourished in that role and hasn't looked back since.
It really has. I think it's a lesson for myself and all coaches. Not that I wrote John off. I would try to always be open-minded. But his number was called for a variety of reasons, injuries, other guys not playing great. John has never not played well when he's given the opportunity. He just hasn't been given much of an opportunity here. And what he's done is he's made us a much better basketball team. I think initially, we're all happy, and it's kind of sentimental choice that a kid who hasn't played much gets an opportunity. The reality is that he's helped us be a very good basketball team. He's a great defender, guards 1 through 5. A terrific offensive threat now because his ability to step away from the basket makes everybody else on the offense, in particular Jeff Foote, more effective. All those other intangibles, he plays hard, he knows how to play, takes charges. It just has made us a very good basketball team.
And about winter break this year, you guys had the chance to play in the oldest tournament in college basketball in the most prestigious venue of all of basketball. And not too many people outside of Ithaca were really giving you guys much of a chance in that tournament. Tom Pecora, the head coach of Hofstra, referred to you guys as Colgate in an interview. But you guys put on 2 of the most exciting performances this season, beating Davidson in an overtime thriller and taking St. John's down on their home court to win the tournament. Can you talk about that experience?
It was everything that you would hope it would be. I was fortunate enough to play coach in 2 of those prior when I was an assistant at Penn, so I knew what it was like. It's not just Madison Square Garden, but it's New York City. It's Christmas time. It's a great festival attitude that permeates the whole city. And then you get a chance to play in that venue against those teams and then play really well. And I thought our guys played terrific. And we go back to John Jakes, how well he played. I think that was a coming out party for him right there, making us. And the whole experience was great. I think we'll look back on that as one of the best things this team has accomplished because of the quality of the opponent, the venue, the stage you're on, and all the things that were going on. And I think it makes us a better basketball team in the long run to play in front of that kind of that environment, those competition, and that setting. I think it's going to pay well for you down the road.
Yeah, you mentioned John having a coming out party, especially in the St. John's game. I want to talk about the last play, under a minute left, up by 2. Last chance to make it a 2-possession game before giving St. John's the ball. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. and it's Jake's hitting a three over Brownlee's outstretched hand. Was that drawn up to him, or was it just something he saw in the defense?
Well, what we do late in the shot clock is try to get foot on a pick and roll. So then he dives to the rim, and now we read the guy who's filling behind if he's going to be open or can we go right into foot. They really helped out on Jeff. He was having a monster game himself. I go back to the advantages having someone like in your 4 spot that's able to stretch the defense. That was a perfect example. Jeff is having a great game. They had to react, and now John fills in right behind the ball screen and gets himself a 3 under pressure, but he was poised the whole weekend. It was obviously, once he gets his feet set, I have great confidence that he can make it, and obviously made that one.
Yeah, it was a big moment for Cornell basketball. And another big moment, and I'm sure you know what game I'm talking about now, the Kansas game, up by 1 with 40 seconds left. I think every Cornell basketball fan, including myself, almost had a panic attack thinking that you guys would take down the #1 team. Can you talk a little bit about the experience going into the Fog Allen Fieldhouse and playing Kansas?
It was a great experience, obviously, except for the loss. I think we did everything we possibly could to put ourselves in a position to win. Extremely talented basketball team. Over 40 minutes, I think for 39 and change, we did a great job. Not that we didn't do a great job at the last minute. Obviously, as a coach, you look back at things that you might want to change. I wish we did a little better execution in the last 2 possessions, but they scored. That being said, the guys will always remember that experience there. It's an incredible environment. The thing I was really amazed at was the classiness of the fans at the arena. Gave us a standing ovation as we left. Really appreciated the quality of game. I thought Kansas took us serious, and that was my sense before the game, that they were up for it. It wasn't like we were walking in and they were going to sleepwalk for 40 minutes. I thought they played well, and Coach Self said so much. So I think it was great. It's another one of those ones that I think can help us down the road as well.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but when Kansas took on Kansas State, the overtime game, Sharon Collins did the same exact move to beat you, and in the post game they asked him about that play. He just said, we drove the same play we did against Cornell.
It's interesting. He's a heck of a player, and a heck of a college player, and that's why I said they made plays to win it. I don't necessarily feel we lost it. I feel they made plays to win it.
And the type of non-conference schedule that you guys played, obviously you do it for a variety of reasons, one of them being to get ready for the conference schedule. What did you learn about your team from the non-conference play, and what kind of changes did you make when you were getting ready for Ivy League play?
Well, I think there's a few things that you try to figure out who's going to be able to help you offensively and defensively in different situations. I think we learned that we can go pretty deep into our bench. Like Mark Curry makes us a much better basketball team, in particular in our league. When you take a kid out like Jeff Foote and replace him with another big, strong, intelligent basketball player like Mark Curry. And then you have depth in Adam Wire because he continues to fill a great role for you. We talked about John Jakes, and now we have Alex Tyler getting healthy again, another big body. And I'm very comfortable with our guard rotation from our preseason. Obviously, Jeff Reeves is coming off the bench, and Max Grobe is a guy who I have great confidence in league play.
Yeah, you're talking about your depth, and I think it's one of the things that makes your team so dangerous. You can go to anybody on the floor for offensive production. 6 guys have led you guys in scoring for a game. And I think Joe Jones, the head coach over at Columbia, put it best, that you guys aren't just deep, you have quality depth.
I think that's important, and I agree with that. I think there's guys on our team, if they were on other teams, would be leading scorers. And I think the thing that's makes us good is that the guys don't care who scores, just want to get the job done. It's a balanced team in all aspects of it, and the guys get credit for that. They're willing to do whatever it takes to win a basketball game, whether it's playing 2 minutes at a spurt like Wire does for defense, and even like Max, I try to steal an offensive possession and get him in there at this point in his career, and the situation that we have at the guard spot, and he's willing to do it, and he does it well.